Let's go! At once, all the years and the fears disappear as I stand here today. A response to the time underlined, been unkind, unwilling to break. Now I'm here, 15 years, my career, hold my beer, metaphoric ballet. Dance around like a hound, never found, running everywhere but the right way. What I wanna do is show, I spent 6 days taking fonts for the flyer. What? Set of jokes I write, sick flows of existential satire. I learned to tattoo and rap, play guitar, other traps on this useless empire. But now I'm soaked in regret with my ambition wet like a bathroom hand dryer. I want a seat at the table, Cain killed Abel, now I get why. I want to live, want to feel that I gave what you crave before I die. I want to play, get away from the big eternal, you must comply. I want to not give a shit, spit and dance a little bit and get fucking high. But what if you ain't ready, Greg? What if you fuck this up? There's just so many comics, Greg, how do you measure up? Whose dick is bigger, Greg? Bo Burnham's at the top. You think you're that good, Greg? Well, maybe, baby, you should stop. Well, maybe, baby, you don't baby me. And shut your fucking mouth, Greg. You kept me down so long, like you wish Dad had pulled out. You think you're helping, but you're not. I've had about enough. Now step aside and cyanide and let me run my mouth. Greg, I'm bleeding, my heart beating, breathing, needing every laugh. Hey, I stop when I am dead, but I'll be gigging after life. Hey, maximum effort, minimum effect doesn't pay off. Hey, I'll let you go, now fuck you back even while you're on top. Hey, get it, I'm so clever, but I never had enough. Hey, those people want a smooth life, but I guess I like it rough. Hey, BDSM, I with myself, I ain't got a yacht. Yeah, was chasing Dave Chappelle, but now I'm running for Tupac. Sick and tired of living like I'm under the gun. I swear to God, this comedy shit used to be so fun. Thought I'd be ahead by now. This is not a run. The day I turned this to a race, I was fucking done. So welcome to the new Greg. So glad that you could meet him. Don't give a fuck about what you thinking. You better believe him. There's a freak inside. I found him. Now it's time to free him. I see a throne. It's my new home. I'm asking. I'ma be him only now. My new mantra. Got it tattooed on my chest. Gonna make a living breathing. I'm the GOAT. There's no contest. No more doubts. No more fonts. And now it's time that I confess. Despite my Jewish upbringing, I like Kanye West. I do. He said some shit, but rapping is hard, and I just hope he's okay, you know? But what do I know about rap? I'm just a foreigner. I'm from Ukraine. Boo, what? One Russian in the room, got it, okay. You watch yourself, Russian. I'm armed and dangerous. Who fucking showed up here to boo Ukraine? I moved here in 1998 as a religious refugee seeking asylum because I'm Jewish. Any Jews in the room? Strong representation, usually not like that. Thanks, Germany. Oh, I'm sorry. We're not ready to talk about that? It's closely documented historical evidence. You know, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. You know what? Let's burn some books about it. I think. I moved here from Ukraine because they didn't really like Jews in Ukraine. And I moved to America where you guys are about them. I'm not really sure where Americans fall on Jews. If I was basing it off of Instagram comments alone, I'd say, not great. I was pretty young when I left Ukraine, though, so I don't really remember much about it. You know, I don't have much of a cultural connection. I was like 7 years old. I don't remember. But I will say that the one thing I do remember is even as a 7-year-old, I was like, we should have more, like, electricity. Why do we have one phone per municipality? I'm 33 years old, but my baby pictures look like I was born in the Great Depression. They're like gray and faded, and I have like a pitchfork in all of them for some reason. Like my birth certificate is handwritten on a peeled off vodka label. I'm pretty sure I was the first recorded baby, you know? the delivery doctor slash town landscaper was like, we should write down we have new baby. Also, I have a good deal on hedge trimming if anyone is interested. Had a weird childhood, I feel like. I don't know what it was. I have some weird trauma. I don't know why, but I was really afraid of getting kidnapped as a kid. Anyone here really afraid of that? Okay, one person like really feels my pain. I love that. I don't know what happened. Maybe I was just like a really sexy kid and super aware of it. I'm not sure. But I was just so terrified of it, you guys. Like, I somehow realized at one point, I convinced myself that if I laid down when I sleep and I just pulled the blanket like all the way over my head, that somehow that would keep me safer. As if some like home intruder was like gonna come by my room and they're like, oh, nothing to see here, just some sexy kid shape under a blanket. Probably just sexy pillows. Just keep moving. I also somehow convinced myself, I don't know how this was, I convinced myself that maybe if it was raining, I'd be safer too. I'm not sure what that was about. I guess I just decided that, like, you know, it's hard enough to kidnap a kid, but like, you know, in the rain, you know, all slippery and shit. You don't want that. I don't get it, because the thing is that I don't know what I was so worried about. It's not like we had money or anything. It's not like we were rich. Honestly, the most expensive thing in our house was our sectional sofa. And I swear to God, if an intruder came and could get it down the stairs and out our front door, my dad would have just paid him without the exchange of me. Like, I don't know what the kidnappers would have wanted with me. I don't think there's really anything they could get. Like, they're on the phone just negotiating with my mom. We have your son. We want money. And my mom's like, we don't have money. Do you want Saturn SLE? 1992. It's like brand new, 130,000 miles. Do you like pierogies? I make you nice dinner. Also, is Greg still talking about comedy? Maybe you hold on to him for another month. And when he's done, you bring him back, we give you money. Worth the effort. Yes, clap for my sadness. I love my mother. She's a sweet lady. She's not really used to the fact that I live in Los Angeles where there are fires. That's still new to her. And so she'll go and she'll read a news story on the internet, and it'll just say something really basic like, small fire in the Palisades causes minor disturbance for local residents. But she reads this as, it is the end of days! The reckoning is upon us! Only scorched earth will remain! So then she calls me, already at a 10. Greg, there is fire! And I'm like, what? Where? In your house? Get out. What are you doing calling me? Grab my high school speech trophies and get out of the house. What are you doing? The dog is fine. Tell Dad to grab the Pokemon cards and get out of the house. She's like, Greg, this is not joke. How far away are you from the fire? And I'm like, I don't know, Palisades? It's like 8, maybe 10 miles. She's like, this is so close. You have to go now. You're going to die. And I'm like, Mom, it's 5:30. At this time, it's going to take that fire like at least an hour and a half to get to where I am. It's going to get stuck on the 101, I think. See, if the fire was smart, it would take Mulholland and come down Crescent and then just go to Olympic all the way. But it's a dumb fire. It's not from around here. I have a unique relationship with my father, but you probably knew that based on the coat that I entered in. And the amount of rings I'm wearing. Honestly, that's almost a reaction to that. So dads in the room, tell your son you love them, or this happens at 30. I have a weird relationship with my dad because I only got through like the first half of first grade in Ukraine. So I didn't really learn all that much Russian. I speak Russian at like a first grade level. And my dad, he came to America and he just like works with cars. He just didn't really learn any English. Because he's like, yeah, fuck it, you know, like cars don't have feelings, neither does my son, it doesn't matter. So he speaks English at like a second grade level, which was fine for a long time when all we had to talk about was like, what food is yummy? And the color of the sky. But I'm an adult now, and I want to talk to my dad about some real adult shit, and I can't, because functionally, my dad and I don't speak the same language. We just don't, and I wish I could play you a phone conversation between me and my dad. It sounds like two second graders trying to hash out life. I'm like in broken Russian. Dad, Greg, no corporate, Greg make funny. Greg think he funny, maybe, for people, and people, haha, make money from Greg funny. Greg tried to make life haha for people. Then my dad's like, no funny, no money. Greg family, Greg children, Greg work, Greg security, no funny. No money. Greg corporate. And I'm like, Dad, can't. Soul hurt. Can't. Greg funny, maybe. Greg maybe funny. Greg make life maybe haha. Life haha. And he's like, life no haha. Life boo-hoo. You gotta hand it to him, you know? Life is boo-hoo. You know, just, that's an E minor chord, very sad. I mentioned I was Jewish. What I found out is that I'm not just Jewish, I am really Jewish. I did 23andMe, are you familiar with that? You spit into this test tube and they tell you what kind of person you are, which I feel like in the wrong hands is dangerous. And probably good that that didn't exist in the 1940s. Very Jewish. I did 23andMe and they sent me my results back and they said that I was 99.97% Ashkenazi Jew. Yeah, right? That is so fucking pure, you guys. Like, you can't get cocaine that pure. Do you understand? Like, I could be shown in competitions. I'm not even sure that the water that comes out of your sink is 99.97% water. I am more Jewish than your water is water. I thought that when I sent in my stuff, they were gonna give me like regions and like different areas that I might be. I wanted to find out that like my great-grandfather had like a sordid affair with an Indian lady, and that's why I love naan. They were like, nope, Jew. The paper almost said fucking Jew, I swear to God. It didn't, but man, it felt like it did. And I'm sitting there going like, did I just pay someone $80 to call me a Jew? That's like free on the internet, I think. My rabbi's making me uncomfortable. I'm like, is he liking this stuff? Yeah. Thank you. I told my friends that I did that, and he was like, I would never do that. I would never do 23andMe. And I was like, why is that? I can't wait to hear this opinion. He's like, dude, I'm really scared I might get cloned. Clone you? Oh, that's cute. They're not gonna clone you. You're okay, you're safe. They've cloned like one sheep one time. They're gonna start with Taylor Swift and LeBron James and work their way down. We're not gonna start with you, it's okay. You're a 35-year-old man that's lactose intolerant with a jaw that clicks when you eat. Well, you're okay. I saw you make a sandwich out of Doritos and Easy Cheese. Delicious, but not prime cloning candidate. Honestly, if it were up to me, I would say take whatever makes him him and just make no more of him. That's what I think we should do. And I understand for the historians in the room, that's like a little close to eugenics. I understand that. And that's an intense argument for a Jew. But I'm not saying let's kill the guy. I'm saying, do we need more Kyles? You know, do we need more? We're like 2 weeks away from an election, and I have never once, I've been friends with him for a long time, not once have I seen him vote in an election. But I know that he has 6 Google email addresses so that he could vote 6 times for best burrito south of Sunset. Do you understand? What? I don't know. I'm not judging. Whatever. I have tattoos. Any people here with tattoos? Yeah, heavily tattooed crowd. This guy's got one like on his head. He was like, yeah. He didn't even say yes. He was like, you can see it. What is that? What is it? What's going on there? Oh, it's a lady and another lady. Fuck yeah, on your head. Bold. Love that. Hell yeah. All right. Tattoos are against my religion, right? He was like, yeah, but let's not talk about it. Like, it's not even implied. It's like in the Torah. Like, God was like, none of that shit. And I just started getting tattoos mainly because I was just, I needed to find new ways to disappoint my parents. The comedy was starting to get a little too acceptable. So I was like, boom, divorce, and they're super chill about that for some reason. So I was like, how about devil skin pictures? And they're like, no! And I was like, okay. The problem is that older Jews, man, they'll come after you about tattoos. Okay, you know, like they will come at you, and they are ruthless, and they're like manipulative in an almost psychotic way. Like they'll just look at you dead in the eye, and they're like, how could you? How could you get a tattoo? Don't you know that the first thing they did to Jews when they brought them to the concentration camps was tattoo them? And I'm like, yeah, but I mean, I think that was for like tracking purposes. I don't think they were doing that to be annoying. I don't think that's how it went. I don't think there was like a hipster German guy outside of Auschwitz going like, I would like you to choose something from this flash sheet. Maybe nice snake and dagger on the forearm, a couple ladies on your head. You look so good. No, you know what? We'll just give you a full tribal sleeve. You'll hate it in a year. How annoying. And look, I understand that's a little offensive, but I'm trying to point out the fact that I think it's fucked up, a little fucked up, that these people are coming at me and like invoking generational shame and trying to control what I do with my body. Thank you. There weren't any Jews riding motorcycles in Auschwitz, were there? Because I got some bad news for you, Grandma. I'm sorry. I do ride motorcycles. Any other motorcycle riders in the room? 2. The others, dead. I actually won my motorcycle. I won it on Let's Make a Deal. Yeah, isn't that insane? I'm gonna tell you guys a story. It was insane. So I had just come back from a trip to Cancun. So I was just like so hungover and had experienced like a week of gastric situations, let's call it that. How many of you guys have seen Let's Make a Deal? It's been around for so long. Don't be too proud. So when you go on Let's Make a Deal, you have to dress up in a costume. And so I came back. And I just dressed up like a wizard, but I didn't have like an outfit, so I just put on a bunch of black stuff, and I had this long gray black sweater, and I wore like a little beanie, and I had a magic wand. It was a nice wand. So I was like a hipster wizard. That was my costume. And I walk up to the security guard, and he's like, "Excuse me, sir, I can't let you in here with that." And I'm like, "The wand?" And he's like, yeah, that's a weapon. And I'm like, yes, it is. And he's like, you could poke someone's eye out with that. And I was like, sir, with all due respect, I don't think you know how wands work. I could do so much more damage. But low-key, I actually think is a great form of self-defense, honestly. Because if your wand is awesome, like really, truly great, like looks good. Here's the thing, I live in downtown Los Angeles, fairly seedy area. And I think that if I just took a wand and put it in my pants, covered it with a jacket or something, you know? And I walk around downtown and yeah, I've got $100 bill I'm kind of waving around, like, oh, what do I do with this? And some low-level mugger approaches me like, oh, give me your money, and he pulls out a gun. Here's what I do. I look him dead in the eye, fully confident, and I just go, come on. Come on. You don't want to mess with this. Come on, I mean, let's just talk about this for a second, you know. It's a great one. Because you have to understand that this is a man who came up to me, and a second ago he was like, I'm about to get $100. And now he's doubting all of his life choices, and he's like, fuck, there might be wizards, I don't know. That's like a serious concern for this guy. And he's got a gun, sure, but guns, they miss all the time. Wands, boom, one hit kill, don't even have to aim. Avada Kedavra, dead easy. Sorry, I'll holster this. Sorry, that was intense. I don't want to. A lot of Russians in the room. I told you I was armed. Here's one thing you might not know. This is something people don't know unless they've been on a game show. Has anyone in this room ever even been on a game show? Wow. Doesn't that tell you that we're in Los Angeles or what? When half the room is like, yeah, I did Price is Right, whatever, like 5 times. What they don't tell you is that you don't just get to walk away. I'm just gonna leave this here to remind you that I'm dangerous. You don't get to just leave with whatever it is that you won on that game show. I didn't just ride off into the sunset on my motorcycle. That's not how it works. Sometimes it can take up to 90 days after your air date, which for me was 6 months. 6 fucking months, you guys. I have wanted a bike my entire life. Always. And everyone in my life was like, don't do it, don't get it. And now, yeah, they're right. And so for me, that whole 6 months, I was like, oh, I want a motorcycle. I want a motorcycle. It's like telling a 14-year-old kid that he gets to touch boobies in 6 months. That kid, every single day, is gonna be like, boobies, boobies, boobies. It's like a sexual Chinese water torture, just boobies, 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 boobies. And I've touched boobies. But I've never been given a free motorcycle. So I was obsessed. I watched every video that I could find. I read every review I could find. I took pictures and downloaded them on my phone and put them as my wallpaper. I printed out a few. I drew sketches of me on the bike, some of which were nude. I made a quilt, like I wanted that bike. And then I got it. They just delivered it to me, and I rode it for 2 years. And it was like the best 2 years of my life. And then I crashed it. And I almost died. Which, annoyingly is just another thing I almost did in Hollywood. Success is always just out of reach in this city. And I keep telling myself, you know what, Greg, just because you didn't die this time doesn't mean you won't die next time. You're in the mix. You gotta book the room, not the gig. That's the important thing. Death saw my tape and he was like, I like that guy. He's grounded. All my friends and family are like, you're lucky to be alive. And I'm like, don't pander. You don't understand the industry. It was a really bad accident, you guys. I got really fucked up in that accident. A lot of things happened, but I didn't know if I could walk again. I didn't know when I'd be able to walk. I had no idea. My leg was like this with a cross fix. I had to learn how to bend it again. It was terrible, and I got really bitter about it. I got really bitter to the point where I had to stop wearing my Apple Watch Because like every 15 minutes, it's like, hey, Craig, now's a good time to stand up. Yeah, I know. Thank you. I would love this. I'd just be sitting on the couch with my ex and she would just get up to just go to the kitchen. And I'm like, yeah, okay, good for you. Brag about it. It gets so hard. You're like, someone would just walk by the window and I'd be like, hey, asshole! It's a nice leisurely pace you got there. What I wouldn't kill for a saunter right about now. And before things got better, they got worse. They got way worse. Because I got injured, I think it was January like 20th or something like that, and then like 3 weeks later, the Winter Olympics began. Which, you know, for all intents and purposes, is like a worldwide parade of fantastic working knees. Oh, the knees that you will see. It's just 2 weeks of NBC just shoving fucking knees down my throat. Skiing knees and skating knees and weird luge knees. Even the curling guys felt like the Greek gods to me. I was just sitting there watching and they're going down and I'm like, oh my God, would you look at that? 150 degrees of flexion. Holy shit, I would make out with my rabbi to stand up, much less this. Yeah. He's not interested. But only because he's married, not because I'm not cute. Just people winning award for knees. Meanwhile, I'm trying to figure out the physics of the pee bottle the hospital gave me. Honestly, it kind of felt personal. It felt like the slogan of the Olympics was 2022 Winter Olympics. Fuck you, Greg. Anyone here ever take an ambulance? Couple people. How not worth, oh my God, you guys. They drove me 0.5 miles. And they charged me $3,800. For some reason, not covered by insurance. Weird. So not worth it. So not worth it, you guys. It doesn't make sense to me. I thought that ambulances were like peak medical grade sterile machines of science. They're not. It's a rickety school bus with Q-tips. And some asshole in the corner who keeps sitting there asking me what today's date is and who the current president is. I'm like, fucking Google it, bro. I don't know. I just got hit by a car. $3,800! For that kind of money, I could have rented a fleet of limos and took a tour of all the hospitals in Los Angeles. Found myself somewhere better than where they took me, because they took me to the poor hospital. I don't know what I was wearing that made them go like, oh yeah, this thing has got a county. I don't know, they just loaded me into the ambulance like, are those knockoff Jordans? Jesus, this guy's going to county, fuck it. Let's stop at McDonald's on the way, who gives a shit? He probably doesn't have insurance, let him die. And here's the thing, county knew. They knew. They knew that they were the poor hospital because they kept telling me. They kept going like, Greg, you're gonna get great care here. Greg, you're gonna get good care here. The best care. I'm like, the more you say that to me, the less I believe you. Do you understand that? This is a hospital. Assume I'm dying and work your way backwards. I deserve good care. That's like if you went to a restaurant, they kept walking by your table going, hey, I hope your food's great. Just wanted to let you know that cutlet never touched any of our taints. I just want you to know that this chicken cutlet, totally taintless. It's a taintless cutlet just for you. That is a taint-free cutlet. And I'm like, good, I don't want a taint cutlet. Here's a little tip, as long as we're on the topic. Be very careful when you read anything written by doctors about you. Because, are there any doctors in the room? couple, you're fucking savage. You're terrible people. You treat people like fucking cars, like a mechanic, like my dad treats me. There's nothing, you know? There's just no padding, no nothing. I read the entrance paperwork into the hospital, you know, where I arrived from the street where they found me. And they said that I was overweight. 12 times. In 3 pages. That's so many times. That's like 4 times a page. That's less an entrance into a hospital and more like a short novella of all of my insecurities. Are you kidding? There's so much more to talk about. I came into that hospital with 6 broken ribs, a broken collarbone, a lacerated spleen, a brain bleed, barely a knee left, and they were like, this guy's kind of fat, right? We should really focus on that in the papers. And it's not true. It's not. It's not. It's not. Okay, I'm not a skinny guy. I'm a pretty big, but no one would use the word overweight to describe me. That's a weird term invented by people who used a formula that's not ready for this Jew ogre body. And all it does is it gives doctors an opportunity to shit on their patients. I don't know what the fuck they're doing in there. They're just sitting in their rooms, just writing, name. Oh, I don't know, Fatty McIdiot face. Eyes, I don't know, lifeless and lacking intelligence. Appearance? He looks like a discount Chris Pratt if you finger painted him with peanut butter. I'm just sitting there in my wheelchair going like, peanut butter? Does that mean I'm chunky? I'm not even sure what that means. And then the hell started, you guys, because the thing is that when you get injured, and then as you're trying to recover, you can't just recover. That's not what it's about. You have to sit and do the job of the entire insurance company and everyone involved in the whole thing. So I'm sitting there on all of these phone calls with people, and I'm sitting there on the phone reciting 27-digit account numbers to some dude named Jerry who sounds like he's never heard about medicine in his life. And I don't understand how the system could be that broken. I don't get it. A customer support is so easy. I have a question. Most of the time, it's simple. And they have answers. All of the answers. And then I ask the question, they give me the answer, and then we both go our separate ways, and we go watch an episode of Curb, drink a beer, and fuck our wife. Like, that's the life we could have, but that's not what happens. Because 3 hours and 17 transfers later, I'm infinitely more angry. For you mathletes out there, I am approaching a limit on my asymptote of anger. And the biggest problem is number 17, he doesn't know he's 17. He thinks he's number 1. So he answers the phone and he's all chipper. He's like, hello, Mr. Berman. How can I help you today? And I'm like, Jesus Christ, just answer my fucking question. What are my mental health benefits and deductibles? Sir, are you in an emergency situation where you could hurt yourself or someone else? I am now! An hour ago, I was just looking for an in-network dentist! Sir, if you're in an emergency situation where you could hurt yourself or someone else, I'm gonna need to transfer you. Oh my God! Oh my God! I swear to God, if you transfer me one more time, I will literally commit domestic terrorism. Just tell me my parents are proud of me and hang up the fucking phone! Because that's what we do in this country. We take people with a toothache and we make them into terrorists. And don't get me wrong, I'm not depressed. I mean, I'm not happy. It's 2024. Are any of us happy? I just don't know. I don't know how to feel because I should be happy. I'm a 6'4" straight white male. On paper, I am this country's apex predator. But I didn't sign up for that shit. Do you understand? I don't want that. I don't feel that way. This right here, that's not who I am. That's not how I feel in here. I don't know who that is. I feel like I just got miscast in life. Do you understand? Like, I feel like this body, someone else could have just done way better with all of this. Like, they were gonna give it to Chris Pratt, but he got born earlier in a prettier body, and they're like, fuck it, give it to this guy. And the show suffered. 100% the show suffered. It's been going on for 33 seasons. And there were some good seasons in there, right? But the last 6 seasons have been so boring. Fuck, it's this will he or won't he make it in Hollywood bullshit, you know? And they try to spice it up these last 3 seasons with a motorcycle accident, a divorce, and you're like, oh, maybe the character will change, but he didn't. He still lives for validation, but now he limps when he's tired. And he shares his dogs with his ex. My friends were like, you should get a journal. Talk some of this shit out. Should I get a journal? Yeah, okay. It's my therapist. So I got a journal, started writing a bunch of shit in there, and I just punched the journal. I don't know at what point the release comes. Do you understand? I don't know when the feel-good part happens. And now I have all kinds of new anxieties, because now I'm really worried that I'm gonna die in some weird way, and they're gonna, like, read my journal. Just a bunch of police officers at my house just like, fucking Christ, Jesus. There's all these sketches of some dude on a motorcycle. It's like 19 pages in here about spiders. Let's send this to all of his friends and family. Shall we do? I do have 19 pages in there about spiders, by the way. I have a whole thing with spiders. You guys, I hate spiders so much. Oh, thank you. I hate them. I hate them because I'm scared of them, and that's how hate works. I kill them all the time, and I would stop, but you know what? I kind of like it now, so I can't, you know? And look, I know some of you are judging me for this, and I understand that, but you know, well, okay, have you never killed a spider? You've never killed, you're just judging me just because I do it for sport? I have like a whole protocol. You guys, I have this bug swatter that I have owned for over 10 years. This thing, can you imagine? I have laid siege to generations of spiders. I moved with it. I moved from Minnesota to, it's crossed state lines. That thing is 5 years away from becoming like a family heirloom. I gotta pass down to my kids and grandkids. They tell tales of it at spider bonfires. A great prophecy once foretold that a spider would be born that would save them from the death swatter of hell, but no such spider has yet been born. And they await in ever-present fear. I recently started vacuuming them. I thought, okay. I thought what it did is it allowed me more distance between me and the spider, and I thought it was more humane. I have a whole protocol. I do this thing where I vacuum the spider, and then I take the vacuum, I empty it immediately, and then in case the spider didn't die, I take it outside, and I set it outside for a mandatory 1-hour de-spiderification protocol. Very important. in case it didn't die so that it could hobble its ass the fuck out of my house, you understand? But inevitably I'd forget it all the time, so my ex got really tired of it. She's like, can you just go and look up whether or not the spider can survive a vacuuming? And I did. I Googled it, and it cannot. It definitely cannot. The article went as far as to say that if the spider could somehow survive the literal low pressure of a vacuum, the slamming around inside is certain to kill it. And I'm like, good. Yeah, read that shit back to me in a French accent. But then the article took a weird turn, and it was like, you shouldn't kill spiders. Got an arachnophile in the crowd. I'll change your mind. You shouldn't kill spiders. If you see a spider in your home, it's just lost. I'm like, fuck yeah, it is. It doesn't pay me rent. Doesn't live here. Wrong fucking neighborhood, bro. What kind of logic is that? If you saw some dude just crawling around your kitchen floor, you wouldn't be like, oh, he's just lost. You'd shoot him in the face. And this is America, and you can do that, and it's legal. I know. Isn't this country crazy? Then the article had the audacity to tell me that instead of killing them, what I should do is I should make spider hospitals. It wants me to make spider hospitals. I have been murdering spiders my entire life. For me to suddenly make spider hospitals would be a stark shift in policy. That would be like if Kim Jong-un started feeding the people of North Korea. Do we disagree? In case you're inclined, here's how you make a spider hospital. You take a paper plate, and then you put a little paper towel on it and make it damp, and you put it in a dark area, and then the spider crawls on and just lays there and soaks in the water and gets strong. I don't fucking get it. I was like, what the fuck is this? What is happening? I was reading a fun and flirty article about spider torture. And now I'm analyzing blueprints for an arachnid medical facility. What the fuck happened? You want me to build hospitals for I don't even have free health care. You want me to build it some rehab centers and gyms too? Okay, yeah, you know what? Fine. I build a couple spider hospitals, and now all of a sudden word gets out. Greggy's offering free spider health care. Now I got busloads of retired spiders coming to my house. They want insulin, and I'm like, bitch, I don't have that kind of infrastructure. What am I, Canada? I will tell you though, I will say that spider propaganda did get to me a little bit. It did get to me because I killed this spider the other day, and it like changed something inside of me. And I'll tell you guys this story. Specifically this woman back here who seems to love spiders. So apparently there's a spider that I now know that lives between the counter and the refrigerator at my house, which, you know, really great real estate for a spider. Awesome area, because I never clean there, ever. I don't think that area has ever been cleaned in the entire time my apartment has been built. Do you understand? That is a perfect oasis. It's this beautiful area. There's cultures there. They've got like electricity, and they're doing elections and shit. They got like space travel. They think I'm their god, and I'm like, nah, you do you, I'll do me. We cool. But one day, I was cooking, and I dropped like a cup of ground beef down there, and I gotta clean that. It's like that's gross, right? So I go in with the broom, right, and I go like this, and then the spider comes crawling out, and then I murdered him in cold blood. His day of reckoning is upon him! And then I picked my foot up and I was like, wow. Like, it was huge. It's a big, lived-in spider. You know, like, this thing was old. I could tell. It was just like, it looked like it had been to Nam. It had some tasteful, like, tattoos. 2 ladies on its head. Like, this thing was, I don't know how old spiders can be. Do you guys know? I don't know. Maybe it was like 30, it might have been my age. This spider could have been my age, and it lived in this perfectly contained, beautiful place in a nice little starter web with its beautiful spider husband. I don't know. It's 2024. It's a progressive spider relationship. And they had a nice little 100,000 sack of spiders. I don't know what adoption is for spiders, but I'm sure we can figure that out. They had this nice little family, and one day, this spider just walks out and he's like, sees this beef raining from the sky, and he's like, hey, honey, there's some shit falling from the sky. And his husband's like, shut up, Mark, take out the trash. What are you, a meteorologist? Maybe if you were, you could feed her 100,000 spider children, but no, you wanted to be a comedian. And then I come in with the broom, and I'm destroying everything. Their whole life, their whole existence. Their children are flying everywhere, and he's like, no, Mark! And Mark's like, fuck you! And then... and I just ended their whole existence. I don't know, man, it makes me think, because what if I'm that spider? You know? And I'm just living in this beautiful oasis, you know, like in this perfect space of counter and refrigerator, and I'm having electricity and elections and worshiping a largely absent God. And then one time I come outside and I see that there are Category 5 hurricanes every day. And there are fires everywhere. And the ice caps are melting all the time. And I'm like, hey guys, this looks like we should do something about this. And the Republicans are like, shut up, Greg. Climate change is cyclical. What are you, a meteorologist? Maybe if you were, you could fix this, but no, you wanted to be a comedian. And then God comes in with his broom and just destroys our entire universe. And everything is destroyed, and everything is flooded, there's fires, and the Republicans are like, but the drag queens! And I'm like, fuck you! And that's it. It's the end of our existence. So that's just a little bedtime story I've been working on. And it's called Don't Get Too Comfortable in God's House. Because I could have the most beautiful life. I could have it. I could have the most beautiful life. I could have a motorcycle. I could have 150 degrees of flexion. I could have a grandma that likes my tattoos. I could have everything. All the electricity I ever wanted, baby pictures in color, but at any moment, let me just hear for a bit.